Hello everyone, my name is Alain Bouet, Aviation Design Authority and EU-funded program coordinator at Orolia and based in France. I have the pleasure to present you today the return link service and its associated technology. So first, let me introduce you the search and rescue system and services provided to save lives. The search and rescue is supported by an organization recognized by the United Nations, the International COSPAS-SARSAT program, which provides, thanks to a satellite-based search and rescue distress alert detection and information distribution system, accurate, timely, and reliable location data to help national authorities assist persons in distress. COSPAS-SARSAT is well known for this mission, utilizing emergency beacons activated by aircraft, ships, or persons in distress. COSPAS-SARSAT also cooperates with United Nations affiliated agencies like International Civil Aviation Organization to ensure the compatibility of the COSPAS-SARSAT distress alert services with the aviation needs, their standards, and more generally, the applicable recommendations of the international community. So the objective of the COSPAS-SARSAT system is to reduce, as far as possible, obviously, delays in the provision of distress alerts to SAR services and the time required to locate a distress and provide assistance, which have a direct impact on the probability of survival of the person in distress at sea or on land, for instance. The determination of the position could be determined by principle either by independent location calculation, thanks to the constellations in space, and or by the encoded position provided by GNSS receivers inside the beacons within the distress alert messages. As you can notice, the COSPAS-SARSAT system has saved more than 48,000 persons since 1982. It's a global service based on a worldwide network and free of charge, which is obviously interesting. In addition, the COSPAS-SARSAT system is based on a continuous improvement approach. Each year, several meetings occur to improve the efficiency of the system, increase the maturity level of development, and publish revisions or new standards. So in relationship with this continuous improvement approach, the new system, MEOSAR, for Medium Altitude Earth Orbiting Satellite System for Search and Rescue, is operational since December 2016 and complements the existing systems such as the LEOSAR, the Low Altitude Orbit Satellites deployed in the 80s, and GEOSAR, satellites in geostationary orbit and deployed in the 90s. At the end, MEOSAR should also replace the LEOSAR system in the coming years. MEOSAR has also introduced new assets, as you can see, and new functionalities, such as, for example, the SAR Galileo constellation and its return link service, or another example, the GADS Autonomous Distress Tracking Solution by COSPAS-SARSAT, which is called ELTDT system and data distribution. And in the future and during dedicated service updates, it's also foreseen that enhanced capability will be introduced, like, for example, the second generation beacon and additional return link services like the command service or messaging, for instance. But what is Galileo and SAR Galileo? Galileo provides mainly free contributions to the community and users. So firstly, this is a European initiative and a global navigation satellite system for providing, obviously, navigation data. But this is more than that. Secondly, this is also thanks to the specific search and rescue payload aboard the Galileo satellites in the space segment, distress alert repeaters relaying globally the signal to the 24/7 ground operators, and provides, since January 2020, the operational capability to offer the return link service to the users. And finally, SAR Galileo also contributes to the European SAR survey, including North Africa, with the supply and sustaining of free ground stations for the detection and localization of users in this area. Now, what is really Galileo returning service? As you can see on the Galileo satellite view on the left, the search and rescue payload is equipped with a two-way communication manner for both type of links. So the first one is a legacy one, the distress alert repeater, called the forward link, and the unique feature provided by Galileo, the return link service, allowing to receive the acknowledgement from the ground and to broadcast this reassurance signal to the user in distress. The first service provided globally and free of charge by Galileo and embedded in COSPAS-SARSAT system is the automatic acknowledgement service. So this service is offered by simply owning an aviation emergency locator transmitter, RLS-ENABLED, which will bring to the user's attention these two key information for survival. So the first one, your alert has been detected, and help knows where you are, which is also very important. And the probability of reaching the user and provide these two key information is maximized thanks to a specific strategy defined by Galileo during the development and system validation in which Aurelia was strongly involved. So to give you a rough of magnitude, in clear view sky condition, this operation takes typically only 2 to 6 minutes. And this has been verified during several testing done by Aurelia and its partners, also involving authorities, like, for example, on last September, the Australian Maritime Safety Authority, in charge of COSPAS-SARSAT operations in this Oceania area. Well, now, how are you contacted by the system? First, the principle is you are in danger, and the Canada Emergency Locator RLS-ENABLED is triggered on, for instance, after a ditching or whatever distress situation after a crash. After this operation, my alert goes through the search and rescue satellites to the local user terminals disseminated on ground all around the Earth. It could be through US GPS, Russian GLONASS, or the EU Galileo satellites. So a massive number of MEOSAR satellites in view. Roughly speaking, this is 40 satellites today, and it will increase in the coming years again. Then the messages are decoded, and the 24/7 operator will be able to validate the alert and forward it to the reliable position data to the local rescue coordination center, the RCC. In the meantime, and automatically the interface between the COSPAS-SARSAT network and the Galileo infrastructure located in the French Mission Control Center in Toulouse, in France, will forward to the Galileo ground mission segment the request of an acknowledgement based on two information. So first, the ELT is RLS enabled and capable to receive an acknowledgement, and the location is at this point of the Earth. After the creation in few seconds of the returning message containing the acknowledgement, the signal is sent by the Galileo infrastructure to reach the user's ELT through the selected Galileo satellites. So that means after this point, the ELT indicates to the user the received acknowledgement from the system. And so, in order to close the loop, the user's ELT will be sending a confirmation to the system that the acknowledgement has been well received. Also to stop the non-useful additional returning messages transmissions. And in parallel, the notified RCC can organize with the SAR forces the rescue of the people. And at the end, the user is rescued by the SAR forces in the appropriate manner. But what are the benefits for the community of such service? The social impact of this type of service is immediate, and basically because knowing that others are aware of your situation can greatly improve your mental strength. For the challenges you are facing during a distress situation, This returning reassurance signal will also reduce the chances of rash decisions taken by those who feel they have nothing to lose, like leaving the site of an accident or attempting to swim for safety, for instance. Therefore, knowing that SAR professionals know your situation and location will be an invaluable support. So in summary, RLS equal to you are not lost, hold on, because help is aware. Note also that the European Commission and its European GNSS agency, the GSA, has chosen Aurelia to supply on the market several types of beacons, Galileo and RLS-enabled, in maritime, land, and obviously aviation sector. This innovation process is going through two major projects as the H2020 Helios project for multiple markets and in partnership with major organizations like the French Space Agency, Airbus, Air France, COBAM, or Cyan. The second one is the TOSETI project, focuses on the cabin and aircraft next generation survival ELTs. So for these projects, I invite you to visit their specific websites to assess how the product maturity level is high. Now, to summarize what I said and to introduce the rest of the presentation, we will broadcast a short video, and I'm happy to come back to you in 3 minutes. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed this video, summarizing what I explained just before and introducing how Aurelia is involved to address the use of this service. So in all this context, Aurelia can go forward to offer to the users this type of technology and services now. So as an example of distress beacon RLS-enabled supply by Aurelia and aviation sector and directly from our TOSETU project, Aurelia proposes the supply of the Canad Ultima S product, able to meet the full FAA EASA lithium special conditions compliance, but also to provide automatic activation, a safe battery pack mechanism, a built-in GNSS receiver, and the capability to be installed in cabin or life raft. And without any addition of lithium, you can have access to the RLS acknowledgement for the users. And for a user perspective, the indication of the acknowledgement will be very simple thanks to a blinking light, either red or simply green when the acknowledgement has been received, to aid even for a naive user to understand that his alert has been received and is locating by the help. Ultima S has also been already tested several times with the RLS system, and it was the first ELT receiving an acknowledgement in July 2019. So now I need an ELT RLS enabled and to be registered as for legacy beacons. But what are the conditions to get this type of device? So two key information could help you. The first one is a specific web page on the COSPAS-SARSAT website, notifying which countries allow their citizens or operators to use an ELT RLS enabled, and in which conditions. COSPAS-SARSAT is tasked to update this page, so please regularly check the situation in the state of the operator or with the local aviation authority. However, the RLS Acknowledgment Service is already global and operational, and the ELT could be used wherever you are on the Earth. You will be located anyway. The second one is the SAR Galileo Service Definition Document, which gives you details about the service performances and important notices you should know. Note that these two information are public and available anytime for anybody on the web. Another key important point in civil aviation is the standardization status. So good news, an ELT RLS enabled can be designed and type approved now, thanks to the European RTCA documentations, COSPAS-SARSAT T-Series documentation, all called in by EASA ETSO or FAA TSO. Note also that a new European document is available in open consultation process, the ED277, which is a standard for the RLS system utilizing ELTs. So to conclude this presentation, when this type of ELT will be available? Actually, based on a strong experience through its history, with more than 80,000 units supplied worldwide and free flying product families, new Canad Ultima S will be available in 2021, offering both a lithium compliance and the acknowledgement service in specific variants. And as mentioned previously, the results for timing are very good in standard conditions, within average only a few minutes to receive this reassurance signal. So happy to talk to you soon. I give you back, Sophie, the floor for the questions our attendees may have.
Yes, thank you, Hannah. Actually, we just had got a first question. Could the RLS be used to activate the beacon from ground?
Well, this is something included in the ED277 document. The capability of this new service is described, and this is correct that you can trigger remotely an ELT and also actually deactivate it. So this is through the command service.
Thank you for this one. Next question would be, can I buy an ELT RLS-ENABLED and go wherever I want on the globe?
Yes, absolutely. So you can provide that. You can buy an ELT with RLS. You can go wherever you want on the globe. Just you have to check with the countries, your countries, if it's acceptable or not. But this is absolutely possible.
Thank you. Next question is, what are the performances expected from these services?
Well, so this is a global system, so including COSPAS-SARSAT and GALILEO. So the end-to-end performances are combined between these two key components. It's expected to have the acknowledgement within 30 minutes for 95% of the time, so which is really good when this is connected to MIOSAR. So this is roughly 15 minutes for COSPAS-SARSAT and 15 minutes to receive the acknowledgement from the Galileo. But as I said, during our 3 years, we have seen that this is really better than that. So.
Okay, maybe last question is, can you tell a bit more about the TOCITY project that lead to the ULTIMAS creation?
Yeah, the TOCITY project is funded by the GSA, so the European GNSS Agency. This is a contract with them, supporting the development of Aurelia products, and particularly so the Ultima Survival ELT for the delivery in 2021.
Thank you. I guess this was the last question.
Okay.
If you're willing to switch to the last slide.
Yep.
Okay, so thank you all for participating to this session. Tomorrow we have our last online webinar with John Fisher introducing the SpectraTime MRO, which is Aurelia's mini rubidium oscillator. And obviously, Alain, if you can switch to the next slide. Anna?
Yeah, I switched.
Oh, sorry. Takes time to download.
Yeah, can you see the booth? Yeah.
Yep, it's
Okay.
on. So yeah, our virtual booth for the Aurelia Air Show is live on the website, on the Aurelia website. So don't hesitate to subscribe, to visit. As you know, we have a main focus on commercial aviation for this one, but we also have combat search and rescue beacons for military needs. We have, as you can see, innovation corner displaying timing and synchronization, as well as testing and simulation solutions. So don't hesitate to check that up. And we can still request for meeting, request for a demo, online demo, and register for the rest of webinar session we have. So thank you all for attending and have a very nice day. And thank you, Alain, for your help.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.